Hi, Matthew. Let's get your thoughts on the final two games of the National League season. It feels like it's been an absolute roller coaster for everyone involved in Notts County for all sorts of reasons. I'm just wondering how you'd assess the season to date.
Yeah, it's obviously been a very good season from us. To be on 103 points with still two games to go is a very good outcome for us. Obviously, there is obviously one team who are better than us at the minute. So all we can do is win our next two games and see where it takes us. But I think when we look back, we'll look back at it and think it's been a very good season.
Yeah, is that something you take plenty of pride in as a group? The fact that you've broken so many records individually and collectively, and you've still got an opportunity to still get promoted back to the Football League.
Yeah, I think we all been and really enjoying the season. It's a joy to playing this team with the players that we've got and the staff that we've got. It's a real enjoyable season. Personally, I'd put it right up there for me. So yeah, obviously the aim is to get promotion. Whether that's in 2 games time or in 4 games time, we'll just do everything we can and just keep playing the way we're playing and see where it takes us.
With Wrexham winning last night, it's opened up a little bit of a gap between you and Wrexham, but they're still catchable. Is the focus now just those two final games, and like you say, see where you end up?
Yeah, all we can do is concentrate on Maidstone on Saturday. I think we play before them, don't we? So all we can do is go into that game, win the game, put in a good performance, and then if they slip up, then we just need to make sure that we're there to capitalise and see what happens.
Yeah. Let's look at how Luke Williams has got the best out of this team, not just lately, but throughout the entire season. It's testament to him and his staff as to how well you've worked as a unit with that high intensity and that high press. It's lasted the entire season, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think from day one when he came in, he explained the way he wanted to play, how him and his staff want to play, and in training day in day out, we've been replicating the way he wants to play, and it's I think gradually throughout the season we've improved as a team. On a match day, we've become more comfortable with the way he wants to play, and yeah, it's worked really well. There's no getting away from it. It's been a very good season from us, and the manager's obviously got some really good ideas which we've all bought into, and we're all on the same page, which is really nice. And like I said, because of that, it's been a very enjoyable season.
An element of frustration in there in the fact that you've had such a great season on and pitch, and yet somehow there's a team above you in the National League, whereas in most seasons, if not all of them, could have been promoted by now.
Yeah, I think you can look at it like that, but I think the National League's the way it is. It's at the minute it's one up automatically, so we've just got to make sure that this season isn't a waste. We've put in unbelievable performances week in week out. We've got 103 points. Obviously, the aim is to finish on 109, which I think breaks another National League record before this season. So, yeah, we've just got to keep concentrating on ourselves and not get too down if we don't do it in 2 games time. There's obviously the playoffs, and we just have to make sure that we're ready for them if that's the case. And yeah, however many games we've got left, we'll make sure we do our best to try and win them.
Yeah, I mean it's been 9, 10 months of hard work throughout the season. Does it feel strange now that it all comes down to 2, maybe 4 games?
Yeah, it's been a long season. It's sometimes a weird feeling when you've literally got to. We could have maybe 2 weeks left or whatever it is. But yeah, no, we've worked really hard. We've put in the hard graft in training day in day out, and as long as we keep doing that and we get our just rewards, it'll be all worthwhile, and it'll be a season that I'm sure all the lads and all the staff and everyone associated with Notts County will look back on with a lot of pride and a lot of happiness.
How do you reflect on it on a personal level, Matty?
Yeah, I feel like I've had a good season. I think the managers brought stuff out of my game that was maybe not here last season, sort of thing. I've obviously played in different positions in games, and yeah, just working under the gaffer has been brilliant for me. He's one of the best coaches I've ever worked with, so he's obviously only going to have a positive outcome sort of on your performance as a player. And I think it's just been, like I said before, it's just been a really enjoyable season. All the players here are such good lads, and the change rooms all together really, really good. And yeah, I think on a Saturday you can, as fans, you probably can see that we're all in it together. We're all on the same page, and it's been a joy to play in.
Yeah, speaking of the fans, they'll be travelling down to Maidstone, possibly for the final away game of the season. Just how important have they been, not just at Meadow Lane, but also on the road over this campaign?
Yeah, the fans have been absolutely brilliant. I think every away game, it's pretty much packed out. The numbers that we take home and away is fantastic. Not just for this league, but for leagues above. It's a really good following, and as for players, we can always hear them. We always see them in their numbers, and we want to do well for them, and hopefully that can continue for the next however many games.
Yeah, looking at these next two games, just doing this now just to stay focused and carry on the way you have been doing, just in case it is playoffs and you have to go in a good run of form.
Yeah, I think there's no point thinking too far ahead. You just got to go win the next game, and then we beat Maidstone, then we go and beat York, and whatever happens in the actual regular season, it happens. And then if it, like you said, if it takes longer to get us promoted, then we'll go into the playoffs in good form. Confidence will be high. So yeah, we just got to concentrate on beating Maidstone, and then move on to York and beat them.
Excellent stuff. Well, appreciate your time as always, Matty, and we'll see you off Saturday.
Thanks very much.
Hi, Matty. I'll just start with the Woking game. So it was very much a game of two halves. You finding it quite difficult in the first half, and eventually found your groove in the second. And when we spoke to Luke after the game, he said that it was a poor performance in the first half. But what was on the pitch? What was so difficult about that first 45 minutes?
I think it's hard to sort of put it down to one thing. I think obviously the game before with Wrexham, it was obviously built up to be the title decider. I think it maybe took a lot of energy out of some of the lads, and I think obviously if you look at the Wrexham game, the next game they went and drew 0-0. So I think it obviously took it out of both teams. I think Woking are obviously a good team. They're up in the playoffs for a reason, and they made it difficult for us first half. But I think even though we didn't play great like we kept it at 0-0. I don't think they ever really looked like they were going to score. And then when it clicked in the second half, we blew them out of the water, sort of thing. So I think that's important from now on. As long as hopefully we're always playing well, but if there's a time where we're not, that we keep it tight, we keep a clean sheet, and then we know that we'll come good at some point.
So we saw you as well involved in the first goal, pulling the ball back for Sam Austin. And as you alluded to when talking to Jake, then that the gaffer sort of unlocked some traits of your game that you didn't really know you had before. But how have you found that adapting into that, playing that slightly more advanced role in certain games, and not only being pivotal in the central of midfield, but also influencing the attacking third as well?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I think at previous clubs, like, you either play further forward or you play further back, sort of thing, in midfield. Whereas with this gaffer, he's allowing me to do both, which is perfect for me. Obviously, I like to get on the ball as much as possible and try and dictate games. And if I'm playing under a manager who allows me to do it in the final third and the first third, then it's absolutely perfect for me. And I think me and Bozzy have sort of struck up a good partnership in midfield. Along with, like, when Jim plays in there, I feel like I've got a really good relationship with him. So yeah, I think that makes it a lot easier for me to sort of think, well, I can come and get the ball off maybe the defenders, or I can go further forward and I've got someone in there with me who can do the exact same. So yeah, it's been working really well, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, just on John Bostock, as you've just said there, you've established a really good partnership with him in midfield. But what's it been like to play with him? Obviously arrived in January with a wealth of VFL experience. Has he helped improve your game as well? Yeah,
I think we both complement each other. I think obviously John had not played for, I think it was like six months or something like that. I might be wrong, but not for a while. So it maybe took him a little bit of time to get up to the speed of, especially how we play and training day in day out, the intensity that we train at. And I think the last few months, you can tell that he's up to speed, and he can do like me, the further forward role. He can do the deeper role, and I think with us being able to sort of interchange within the game, it obviously causes quite a problem for the opposition, which is nice. And yeah, I've like I said, I've really enjoyed it, and I think he's playing really well at the moment.
So just looking ahead to the trip to Maidstone this week, you've already beaten them in the league, but the last time you faced them was in the FA Trophy, and obviously it was a 6-5 penalty defeat. Does that result in the trophy imply that this weekend's fixture, despite them already being relegated, it's not a foregone conclusion? It might be a little bit more difficult than anticipated.
I think it'll be a difficult game. I don't necessarily think it's because of the FA Trophy game. I think they've got obviously nothing to really play for, which can make an opposition quite dangerous in the fact that they've got no fear. They've got nothing to lose in a sense. So yeah, I think it'll be a difficult game, but I think obviously, like we have done in every game this season, no matter who we're playing, we try and put our like stance on the game, and we'll try and bring our game as best as we can, and hopefully that's enough.
And then just on the away form this season, obviously with you being here last season as well, I've had a look at the comparison, and you've taken 48 points this season compared to just 32 last season. Is there anything that you can pinpoint that has changed since the start of this season that's allowed you to accumulate that many more points this season on the road?
I think the gaffer's sort of brought in a mentality where it doesn't matter if we're away or we're at home, we're going to play our game. Even if there's like a big atmosphere or the opposition change their formation, whatever, we're sticking to our plan. Whereas maybe last season it was a bit more. It was the same at home, but maybe away from home we sort of was trying to work out the opposition still. Whereas the gaffer now and all his staff are so thorough, and all the analysis is done throughout the week, that we turn up on a Saturday and we know exactly what we're getting, and we know exactly the way we need to play to sort of to win, basically.
And then just finally from me, you've been quite popular in the Fans Player of the Year vote that's opened earlier this week. I was just wondering, who would you vote for if you could pick, or are you trying to keep that a bit of a secret?
It's a good question, to be fair, because I think there's been a lot of standout performers. I think the obvious one is Maka with his goals, but then I think to maybe just go for him is maybe a bit sort of not disrespectful, but like you're not looking at maybe the other players and what they contribute. I think obviously like Ruben has played really well this season. Chicks has played unbelievable at wing back, as has Aaron the main. So I think there's obviously quite a few contenders. I haven't actually voted yet, so I'm not too sure. So I'll keep having a think, and I'll get back to you.